Google unleashed its highly anticipated Gemini model that beats GPT-4 on nearly every benchmark. But what's a cause of concern for most people is that it is beating competitive programmers 90% of the time. So, is this the beginning of AI apocalypse? Let's analyze. Gemini first became known to the public earlier this year at Google.io. Gemini is a multimodal large language model, or LLM, which is set to replace Lambda and Palm 2. Like GPT-4, it's multimodal, which means it's not only trained on text, but also on sound, images, and video. According to Google's demo, it can recognize what's going on in a video feed and respond in real time. It can recognize hand-drawn patterns and can keep track of things in an ongoing video feed, like in the game of Find the Ball Under the Cup. It can even do connect the dots. It can generate images on the fly, like Stable Diffusion, and can even generate music based on a prompt. And not just text to audio, but image to audio. It's also good at logic and spatial reasoning. Using these two pictures, it was able to tell you which car will go faster based on the aerodynamics of the vehicle. In the future, a civil engineer will be able to just take a picture of some land, then the AI can instantly generate some blueprints for a bridge. But not only other types of engineers, even software engineers will become obsolete because Google's AlphaCode 2 performs better than 90% of competitive programmers. And we're talking about programmers solving highly complex abstract problems like you might find on high-level competitions. AlphaCode 2 can break down problems into smaller problems using techniques like dynamic programming. So should you be worried that you might lose your jobs to AI? Absolutely. But not in very near future. Unfortunately, the video feed part was basically fake. If you read the Gemini report, you'll see that they prompted Gemini with photos and asked more specific questions. After that, they stitched it all together for the demo. It's still cool, but definitely not the amazing video AI we all thought it was. No fault to anyone who thought it was real, though. They purposefully misled with the presentation. Also, Gemini comes in 3 sizes: Nano, Pro, and Ultra. The smallest version is designed to be embedded on devices like Android phones, while the Pro version is your more general-purpose model, while Ultra is the bleeding edge of the Gemini family and the one that's blowing everybody's minds. If you're in the United States, you can actually use Gemini right now in the Bard chatbot. However, it's using Gemini Pro, the mid-range version. Bard is way better than it was 6 months ago, and it's still extremely fast, but after using it for a few minutes, it's pretty obvious that it's not quite as good as GPT-4 Pro. When it comes to benchmarks, Gemini Pro underperforms GPT-4 in most situations, but Gemini Ultra outperforms it on almost every single category. Most notably, it's the first model ever to outperform human experts on massive multitask language understanding, which is typically a multiple-choice test over a wide array of subjects. Kind of like the SATs, but for AI. What's hella surprising, though, is that Gemini Ultra underperforms GPT-4 on the Hella Swag benchmark. It's a test designed to evaluate common-sense natural language by having the AI finish a sentence that's often vague and ambiguous. It's a job that's really easy for humans to do and a very important benchmark because when an AI can't do this well, it doesn't feel very human-like. An application for such text can be that when anyone writes a vague prompt with typos in GPT-4 and somehow it almost always seems to know what is being inferred. If Google can lie about one thing, they can lie about another, and then when they told the release date of Gemini Ultra is next year, it has raised doubts regarding it being really as powerful as advertised. Google showed how they are training GPT-4, and that seems legit powerful, but only time will tell. The scale of Gemini Ultra is so large that they had to communicate between multiple data centers to implement it. This is because the training dataset includes basically everything you can find on the internet, including web pages and YouTube videos, as well as scientific papers and books. They filter it for quality, then use reinforcement learning through human feedback to fine-tune the quality and avoid hallucinations. Overall, Gemini looks amazing on paper, but prepare to be disappointed. The Nano and Pro models will be available on Google Cloud on December 13th, but the Gemini Ultra won't be available until next year. So, are you ready for an AI revolution? If you couldn't guess yet, the voice-over for this video is given by AI. The dystopian future can be nearer than we thought. Or is it? Do like, share and subscribe and comment to create discussions and boost the algorithm. Until next time, goodbye.